If you're like me and you enjoy watching crime shows, you'll be familiar with the office of the coroner. That's the person who's called in at a crime scene to collect the victim and determine that ever-present question of time of death that the lead detective is always standing there demanding right at the crime scene, which I don't think is realistic at all. But anyway, looking back into history, of course, there were crimes like murder and manslaughter that happened during Shakespeare's lifetime. But would a coroner have been the one that was called in to investigate that? To find out more, let's dive into the history right now on That Shakespeare Life. When I looked up this bit of history, I was really surprised to learn that there was an office of a coroner for Shakespeare's lifetime. It was a real position in the government during the 16th and 17th century and well before. To find out exactly what that office entailed and whether they were appointed to that job by the crown or some other means, did you volunteer, to answer some of these questions about what it really looked like to be a coroner during Shakespeare's lifetime, I sat down with fellow and tutor in history at Merton College, Oxford, and professor of early modern history who has written a book on accidental deaths for 16th century England, Stephen Gunn. And this is what he had to say.
There had been coroners since the 12th century, so they'd been around a long time in England. In theory, they're elected in the county court in the same way that members of parliament are elected in the county court. And they tend to be local gentlemen, mostly with legal training rather than the medical training that you might expect today. And they are usually a number of them in each county. So it depends how big the county is. Small counties would just have two, and they'd often actually operate as a pair in tandem. Bigger counties might have four or more, and towns often had their own individual coroner. So they're covering some of them quite large areas, so they don't get to a dead body for a number of days until after after the events happened. But they have a reasonably dense coverage across the country. So as long as a death got reported, there should be somebody there to come and investigate it.
So, what do you know? Coroners really would have arrived at the scene of a crime to investigate a murder in 16th century England as well. My brain is just churning with so many fun British TV show ideas, like an early modern crime drama, maybe. I think it would be great. If you'd like to learn more about the office of coroner during Shakespeare's lifetime, as well as accidental deaths that occurred during the 16th and 17th century, how they were investigated, and by whom, then listen to our entire podcast episode with Stephen Gunn right now on the website at CassidyCash.com/episode 331. While you're there, be sure to hit the detailed show notes button to see some insider extras like primary documents, period paintings, and museum artifacts, all related to the history of coroners and investigating deaths for Shakespeare's lifetime. That's it for this week. Thank you for watching. I'm Cassidy Cash, and I hope you learned something new about the Bard. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.